Session for the Hamilton City Council is now in session. We requested bids for our gasoline and diesel. And we have with us tonight Mr. Turner representing Mid-States Petroleum. Mr. Turner?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure to see if there's any questions on our bid response form here. We bid so many of these, and they're all structured different, but it's got price plus, we got freight, inspection fee, and profit. And a lot of times they just want profit and they just want freight, you know, but you wanted to, I see here too, you wanted a wholesale rack price.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got that, you know, figured.
Okay, we couldn't, the way you put it to us, we couldn't understand exactly what the gas was gonna cost. So
Like on your 89,
we don't use, yeah, well,
you don't use 87 and 83, don't you?
we use 87,
Yeah,
don't we? I think that's what we use.
I think you do too. It said 89.
Mhm.
93 is a premium.
Yeah, we don't,
93, the rack would have been 2.8982. 2.8982.
okay. All right,
And you'd add to that figure.
Is that the 87?
The 87 would be 2.6587. And the diesel would be 3.1831.
diesel, I'm sorry. Now that, we want on road.
Yes, that's on road. That's
And how
not
much
two-
is it now?
The rack would have been 3.1831, and then you see it's 10, we got 10 cents instead of 9.5 for each.
Okay.
So
And give me
that's
the eight,
89.
give me the 87 rack price one more.
87 would be 2.6587. I'm used to saying 3 with gas now.
That's the base price, and then you add 9.5 cents.
You add
to
9.5
the
to
other
that, and that 9.5 is our freight, our markup, profit, what they call it, and inspection fees included in the 9.5.
Does this rate change as gas prices change, it fluctuates?
The rack price changes daily. In other words, now, I would say it changes at 6 o'clock every day under normal conditions. It's gonna change, unless they don't move it, but it'll go up or down. That base price will have to change because you can't lock it in and anything like that.
Okay.
But I think before there might have been some misunderstanding, and I think we'll hopefully be able to save you some money.
Okay.
On this thing.
We had 3 bids, and I'm glad you came to explain it to us,
Yes, sir.
so we'd be sure we understand what we paying for it. Does any council member have any questions? Mr. Turner?
Y'all should have a
Had one
copy
just a
of
second
the,
ago.
y'all should
I
have
lost
a
it.
copy in your,
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got it. Just say for today, if we would do it today,
To buy it today.
yeah, what would be the price?
Hold on just a minute. Let me see if I can,
That way we can tell.
let me see if I've got it on my,
Yours is like mine, I ain't figured it all out yet.
No, I hadn't mine either. Let's see.
It said 2.89, that's $2.90 really, per gallon. Remember that.
oh,
Give me just a minute, I don't have today's.
The diesel and the regular 87 octane go up and down kind of together.
Yes, sir, they move, but it's not necessarily the same, just like, I noticed a lot of times gas may go up 5 cents, and diesel may drop a penny, but, you know, a lot of times it is straight across the board, it's just real erratic. Used to a 2 cent move was a big move 10 years ago, but after 9/11, it's just erratic, and the big oil companies do a good job of keeping these supplies tight. Hold on just a minute, I don't know if I can get this loaded, give you a price today. This thing's not wanting to load up.
One thing, Mr. Turner, while you doing that, I think we had a contract year before last. And we had several instances where we ran out of gas and had to buy it, from retail.
Mm-hmm.
If we decide to go toward you the contract, can you improve our delivery?
I sure can. I mean, in other words, do you remember in the circumstances, was it?
Well, I talked to the street department superintendent manager,
Mhm.
and he did confirm, I thought I was correct, he did confirm that we did run out of gas 2 or 3 times, and
Normally what.
maybe a day late, or maybe, and we had to go, police and the fire had to go to
I tell you what,
a retail.
Holiday, here's what normally I've experienced is this. We need to have a plan of who, if y'all gonna alert us, or if we need to call y'all. In other words, what I'm saying, it should be that either your people are calling us, if you can call about 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and say, look, I'm low, I know I need some gas in here in the morning. Then we put you in the schedule for the next day. Now, if they call the next morning at 7 o'clock and say, gosh, I'm out of gas, and we're booked up all that day, it can be a problem. I'm not gonna sit here and tell
What
you
about
can't.
Friday? Let's say we notice that we're low on Friday, we call Friday afternoon. So
yeah.
is that a case where it'd be Monday before you could deliver it?
Not necessarily. Now, if you call Friday and say I need it, we deliver on Saturday. We sure do.
Well, I know, I was here the last administration too, and I know there were several instances where we had tickets where the policemen and the different ones that were on call were having to buy gas around town, which was at a higher rate because we didn't have gas at the
That's
pump.
not good.
No, it's
That's
not.
not good. And I really believe we're scheduling down there now. See, we can even set it up to where I can have our scheduler call, if he tells us, but somebody's gotta go stick the tank, gotta tell us if you're low or what. Or have a way of telling us. If they don't get back with us and tell us, then we don't know how much you've got.
Okay.
But I think we can improve it just by communication. Okay?
We have a gas monitoring system that's given us trouble since we bought it, but we're close to getting it operating. We should know on a daily basis how many gallons is in the tank.
Well,
So that'll help us to,
What I would do is have them to say, look, call me. It'd be good if you, by 4 o'clock, if you could just call and say, look, tomorrow, I need you to put me in a schedule and get me some fuel. And if you were low then, if you were real low, then you might go ahead and say, can you hit me the first early, and let them go get it early. If you don't, they're gonna get it before the day's over. And I know a lot of times the gate's locked or something, and we...
Yeah, right. Well, then we've got to communicate with who
Right, and we've got a
we
lady...
contract with.
We've got a lady down there that's doing a little more thorough job now than it's been in the past, so I feel good about servicing from that
Okay.
standpoint.
And the price you gave us today on the first grade, regular unleaded, 87, was 2.6587, and I add 9.5 cents to that, it'd be 2.7537. That's today, what the
No,
price you gave.
that would have been like the 14th.
Oh, the
We
day
did
that you
it,
submitted.
That we submitted that.
Got you.
I think it's actually maybe a little better than that today, if I could pull it up on here. I've not got it up on here, I may have to call the office and get it.
Now, it'd be close to what you've given us, would it not? We
I
all,
don't think so.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 bids, is he the lowest bid right now, or is,
they're all real close. Real close.
but we haven't determined who's the low bid yet?
These,
No,
some of these others have priced it at 89 octane instead of 87 too.
I noticed on one of them, they marked through 89 and put 87 on there.
Yeah, I think there's
we're gonna have to alter this, we're gonna have to alter this bid form a little bit. And to really specify we want on-road diesel.
Do we not, is it 87 that we need and not 89?
87.
Yeah, he's-
Most all your new vehicles are programmed for 87.
Let me look at something.
If you, Scott, if you go higher than that, it messes up your deal. It has to be reworked.
On 87
Reprogram.
today, on your 87 today, if you was buying 87 today, if you'd have bought it today, okay? It's actually going up a penny, so I'm gonna take a penny off, because that's what it's showing. So your price would have been $267.12 today. Now, that's out.
And you add the 99
I
cents
added
to
the 99 cents to it.
Oh, that's including the 9?
No,
Yeah,
the
it
two
included
seventy-six.
267.12.
Oh, you'd already added the 99 cents, okay.
Yeah, already added it.
All right.
Okay.
So,
And your diesel would be what?
hold on, diesel would be,
And add 10 cents,
I will,
please.
okay? It actually,
How often would that price fluctuate? Daily or weekly?
daily. What the norm is, unless a bomb goes off or something happens to a pipeline or somebody, shoots at somebody over, for you, it's 6 o'clock every afternoon. That price changes. And if our truck's under that rack at 6 and it's half loaded, when 6 o'clock comes, the other half will either be up or down. But at 6 o'clock, it changes. Now, we know what it's gonna do about 4:30. But that don't give us time to run back and say it's going up 10 cents. We ain't got time to run back and get a load. I mean, we wish we could every time for people, but we can't do that. Not on a consistent basis, but it changes every day at 6 o'clock. Now, on Friday, it changes at 6 o'clock on Friday. But it don't change again till 6 o'clock on Monday. In other words, it's good for Saturday, Sunday, and all day Monday at 6 o'clock. That's the norm of it right there. So,
Let me see if I understand what I'm gonna do.
okay.
And the diesel was
Yeah,
what?
hold on just a minute. See, on the diesel, I'm on,
That's on road, right?
this is on-road diesel.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to. All right. And what I'm gonna have to do is make it. It's falling 5 cents, so I'm gonna have to add back 5 1/4. If you'd have bought it today, $310.85.
That includes the markup, right?
That's got the 10 cents on it.
Okay.
It's got 10 cents on it right there.
All right. Does everybody understand now?
I do hear,
You
not
see.
everybody else.
So the diesel dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
These others
it's gonna
said
drop,
it
it's
moves
fixing
to-
to drop here in about 45
These
minutes.
others are.
In other words,
If I get that right, 3.1085 today.
We're gonna have to go by
Is that right?
his bid on the date that we asked for.
that's what it would've been, that's what it would've been today.
Okay.
What I'm saying
I think
right
so.
here, 6 o'clock, it's showing it's gonna fall 5 cents.
Well, we-
I added 5 extra. That's right, that's
We
what
could
it.
call and get
everybody-
Yeah, we need to
clarification.
call and find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We might need to reject and just redo it. Make sure everybody's bidding on the same
I'm
thing.
sure everybody's going 87 off of it.
Mm-hmm.
on a certain day.
We got all kinds of different, you know, we got one bidding 9 cents and another bidding 2.80. You know, there's a $2 difference in what the understanding was on the bid. And is that locked in?
They need to
first?
put their price per gallon, including their markup in there.
Yeah,
And
if
that
it's
way
a
we
fixed-
know
if
what
it's-
we're doing.
If they're gonna charge us a fixed thing versus.
We
a
may
variable
send out a
thing.
revised bid sheet so everybody can understand it, Mr. Turner.
Okay.
Is that be all right with you, sir?
You'd be fine, you'd be
Okay.
fine. I mean,
All right.
I would like
You sound like
to see
you're
what
not-
the county does. I'm gonna
Okay.
call.
I think they've been going
Exactly
through
what the
some
bottom
stuff
line
that
is on
you
the
might wanna
survey.
check
The bid sheet, the thing
Mike
that
Shaw.
I sent out is what Sue sent out. It's been same thing for years. It probably needs to be.
yeah.
I think we'll get Scott to revise it and then make sure we got clearly what we need. But what, we got 89 and then we got 93.
That's right,
And
and
so-
I tell you what I really think the problem is, Hunt, and that's where most, everybody's gonna pull from, Tuscaloosa.
Uh-huh.
Because you're dealing with Bob loads, small trucks. And I don't know that they have an 89. They have an 87 and they got a 93. Now they may have a.
I mean a 93, I'm sorry, it's got 93 on
That's
it.
a premium, that's premium. That's,
Yeah,
That's a
okay.
premium.
All right.
We
Yeah,
don't
so-
ever use premium, do
Hmm,
we? We don't.
No, no.
We don't even need it on there, all we need
I should
is
just need to take that off and clarify what we want.
I'd bid at 87.
Diesel and 87.
On Sulphur on road and then have a figure to put in there for everybody.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, it,
Scott, you revise that for us. We need to get it handled relatively soon. Mr. Turner, thank you very much for coming. You're welcome to stay with us. but
it's gonna rebid it, that what?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We'll rebid and redo the form so it moves clear.
Yes, sir. Well, if any other questions, give me a call. Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
See you, Big Bob.
Yes, sir. Now we're going to hear from a man that don't need no introduction, Mr. Clyde Haffner.
The honor.
The Honorable Clyde Haffner.
Oh, then you sit back now, there's somebody else.
I wonder who that is. Well, thank you, Mayor Holliday. Some 6 or so years ago, I made a presentation to the then mayor and council concerning the insurance and risk management consulting services of American Risk Managers located right here in Hamilton, owned and operated mainly by the Haney family, Walter Haney being the chairman and founder. Been in business over 30 years. It's difficult sometimes for people to understand that an independent consultant can be of service without being an agent. Some folks think you have to be an insurance agent to help folks get the right kind of coverage in the right places. That's not necessarily true. An independent consultant means that it has no official connection at all with the insurance industry. We don't have any affiliations with carriers, with brokers, or agents. Our services done, all of our people are professional insurance people. At least 2 or 3 of them have managed their own agencies in times past. But what they do as professional insurance people is analyze the needs of a customer. And in this case, we would be honored if the city of Hamilton decided to become a customer of American Risk Managers. We work for you, not for the insurance industry. And that is a difference. My boss likes to use the analogy of, would you let IRS compute your income taxes? And I think the answer is no, you would not do that. And I know that my acquaintance Annette is very familiar with the banking business and the need for audits and independent audits. And one additional benefit of our services, before I get into them very briefly, is that it serves the purpose of a complete audit of all of your risks and exposures and what it takes to cover them properly at replacement cost, which is important. I had a difficult time once explaining to someone that we do not look at book values. We may start with those, but our people investigate and assess based on replacement cost. That's what you have to pay if you had damages that were insurable. Now, American Risk Managers, I'm trying to think of the most logical place to commence. And I guess just to tell you briefly how we would work, and then maybe some examples of what we have done. If we went to work for the city of Hamilton, the first thing our people would do is to completely investigate property, equipment, all locations, and assess and establish a replacement cost value based on the same principles used by the insurance companies who would, in effect, settle your claim, so that we're on the same page and matching apples to apples. That's the first thing our people do. They develop a fully documented risk and exposure survey so that you know what your risks are in financial, in dollars. That's the first step. The next step, another part of our crew will do the inside investigation, which is the documentation, your current policies, the form and the kind of coverage that you have to make sure that we understand completely what it is you're using now. And then our findings in the field are kind of overlaid over that, and it becomes obvious as to whether or not you have any gaps in your coverage, or in some cases overlaps. And we've discovered that some fairly significant facilities and industries and or other organizations have been without insurance for some time and didn't know it, that kind of thing. And it's no fault of anybody's. They simply take a organization, company or organization, and establish an insurance base, and many times over time, using the same supplier, things develop and occur that are not necessarily taken care of. Things are taken for granted. That's just human nature. It happens. But our folks, with a variety of the number of customers we have, are, I guess exposed is as good a word as any, to all kinds of businesses and happenings, and are in the market most of the time, so we know what the market is. Our folks can tell you what you should be paying for this kind of coverage on this kind of property. That's what they go to the field with. So right away you get that advantage. From that information, and with consultation with the proper people, supervisors or whoever else, we make sure there's complete understanding of what we've got and what you've got and where we are within the process. And then out of that comes specifications for the coverage to your specifications. And when I talk to other organizations, what we do is set the table for you to have the best protection possible. Now, there are some ways to cut cost in areas where you have had little or no losses. And that's raise the deductible and lower the premium. That's layman's terms for a little bit of self-insurance. And we counsel you in that regard. For example, we look at all the loss runs going back 3 to 5 years, and they analyze that to show where the losses are more prevalent and help hopefully shore up that if there's a problem. That's just part of our services.
Mr. Hamilton,
Yes.
I apologize, but we gotta be in council at 5 minutes. Can you tell me what it would cost us to have your service?
Very quickly, if the city wants us to do so, we can look at all of your present documentation, all of your insurance policies you now have. And from that, I can glean the information, this doesn't take too long, and our people can take that information and forecast what we would could do for you in the marketplace, the coverage you got, and we tell you what we charge to do that. And we tell you what we charge to do the whole thing from the time we do the investigation until we get the bidding done and expose you to a broad range of the marketplace. And typically our service is worth anywhere from 25 to 35% of your present cost. And I noticed where you said almost $500,000. Now I don't know whether that covers all of your insurance, because our specialties are property, all kinds of property, equipment, that kind of thing, all forms of liability, that kind of thing, and workers' compensation. We do not get unemployee benefits. So if that's included in the number I saw on the paper, almost $500,000, we don't do that.
Okay.
But we'd be happy to do there's no cost or obligation for us giving you a proposal that lays out what we would do, shows what we should be worth in the marketplace, and tells you what we charge you to do it. not a penny spent until, there's no cost or obligation for that service.
Any questions?
I may not have, lost this while you were in your discussion, but once you came in and did your assessment, and then told us pretty much what we've got and what we probably need, then you shop it, right? You shop the insurance to different companies?
We take, again, we set with you if you like, and your present supplier, you're happy with them, they would be a part of the bidding process. Then we'd select, again, make suggestions of other qualified suppliers. They have to be financially sound, they have to provide good services, we know who they are. We have a broad range of markets that we know about, that we can expose you to get, as I say, the underwriters have to sharpen their pencils to get your business. They know that. They have one shot at it. There's no bickering. They have one time to beat the lowest bid. And then, once we analyze all the bids and give you the figures in a spreadsheet, you make the choice. You may not buy the lowest one because of your knowledge of other things. There may be some other factors involved. But you make the buying decision. We set the table for you to make an intelligent buying decision.
Okay. Any other council member have any questions for Mr. Hamilton?
If I have a question, can I call you?
Sure, I'm going to leave you some information that tells you about our services. And my card is in there. You can call us anytime. We'd be delighted.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize for us having rush, but
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I thank you all. It's good to see you, and appreciate your willingness to serve in this arena.
You need to read it in this.
okay. Thank you.
Thanks again for your time.
I want to adjourn this work session, and I want to reconvene it after the council meeting. We might need to get with the beautification and see what they can do to make it.
And talk to the street department and see what we've got they hadn't put up yet.
Okay, but the Hamilton House, I guess, is what I'm really,
I don't know whether we should buy any or not, but, if you get some that's donated, I got some at my house.
okay.
I'll never use.
Okay, well, let's be thinking about that.
It would be nice if they could decorate it the old-timey way, you know.
Mm-hmm. It would, but we really need to try to make it look good this Christmas. The house on the corner of Smoky Bear and 10th Avenue, I think is for sale. I'm just throwing this out for you to think about. That would give us access to all the land that's over at the walking track and the ball field. It may never come available again, but we would have control of all that land. And it goes, the back of that property goes almost to the part of the walking track.
That's in that fly zone.
I called, Mike, engineer, and, he said because of the heights of those ball field poles, it wouldn't matter if we, as far as that gaining footage back on the runway, it wouldn't affect that. We'll discuss, I want you to think about it, we'll discuss it a little bit later.
Do we know what they want for
I
it?
haven't pursued it, and just wanted y'all to think about it and see.
And what would the need be other than just own it?
Well, Larry said he could put additional soccer fields on it. We have a big need for soccer field. It's becoming, real, a lot of people participate. I get it out.
Well, my thoughts on it, if it was a residence, then I'm gonna have to sell it as a residence, not just blank property. And
Mhm.
we would wanna use it just like blank property, right? We wouldn't have any use for that house.
No.
So if we have to pay for the house to get the land, would it be worth owning it?
Okay, that's what I'd like for y'all to consider. And I don't think we got to rush to a conclusion on it, so if you would. Another issue, a customer that's found not paying garbage bill. Do we back bill? Do we want to back bill?
And we're picking it up and they're not paying it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. We do.
Okay.
I would
Well,
think.
I spent some time last week with the water department, and we trying to make sure we're billing the people we need to be. And this house is close to where the county picks. I can see where they were. The county thought we were billing. We thought the county was billing them for garbage. So.
Well, did they know they're not paying a garbage bill?
Well, they should. Get the water bill and the garbage picked up, so,
No, I don't mean to be the only one that says something here, but I think if they're being furnished a service, they ought to pay for it just like everybody else has to.
What I think he was saying was back thing.
yeah, I mean, we're billing them now,
We go.
but do we wanna try to collect back months or years?
Well, it was our fault for not collecting in the first place, I suppose.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know either. So it leaves it up to you.
What, if you pick my garbage up for free, I may not say anything for a
Well,
while.
that's right.
So, here I'm on camera.
That's different.
I don't know, if we hadn't been billing to begin with. Part of it probably our fault too.
Okay.
That's kind of messed up.
Thing can give me what y'all wanna do for the next council meeting. The revitalization committee, planning and zoning committee, we're gonna have a meeting, I believe it's the 28th. And to get started on our downtown, of course, one of the things that we delayed it, is we hadn't had the matching money on the grants. So, I don't know, we're gonna move is on the section of property between the sports gallery coming south where all the flooding is occurring. Now, NACOG and they'll say, hey, it'd be better if we did it block at a time. We could be more competitive for grants by doing it that way. And then we can get that block fixed, and then we can go to another block till we get it fixed. So, I'd like for all the council and everybody want to come to that meeting. The parking around the courthouse continues to come up. We're getting complaints, and for people staying in the 2-hour parking space all day. You know, we've got signs up there, 2-hour parking. Now, for some reason, I think, did we have parking meters at one time?
Yes.
When they took the parking meters down, we didn't go back in all the spaces with a 2-hour parking. And I wish that people that works at the courthouse, not only them, they're not the only one, people who own businesses ought not park in front of their store. we have a city parking space, and they need to park over there. Now, I've had merchants recently said, I know I saw a customer go because they couldn't find a parking space. And that, well, it's only get worse as time goes on. And somehow we need to work with the commission to try to solve this parking problem.
Well, if you go to town on Saturday, we don't have a parking problem.
Mm-hmm.
The parking problem, in my opinion, is because the courthouse is right there in the middle of town. And, you know, people coming in to go to the courthouse. You're right, it would really be beneficial if those people that works at the courthouse that have those businesses could park on our city parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I
That would
hardly
solve a
ever
lot
see
of
that city parking lot full unless it's a court day. Sometimes it will be on the court.
Well, then another thing, a lot of people that's on jury duty will park and stay maybe all day or something. So we'll
But
try to work on
the
that.
parking is so much better than it was. That 30-minute parking really helped.
We need to, I'll talk to the chief a little more and see what we can do to maybe patrol it. And people that stays 6 hours in a 2-hour parking space, we need to,
Well, we probably need to be giving some tickets.
yeah.
That's about the only way you can do it, they go by and mark the tires and come back by in 2 hours and see if it ever moved.
We'll try to work
That
out.
might help it.
Okay. The old fire truck that's lime colored, green colored, talked to Barron, and it can't be used in a fire situation. The pump is bad and they don't make parts for them anymore. That company's been out of business. I've asked Kevin to look at it if we could use the chassis for something and then get rid of the bed, or do we just set it like it is? I'll be thinking about what to do. He did a great job when he brought the old garbage truck that was down at the wastewater plant, and our Chris Akers got it running good. We took the body off of it and put a water tank on it this summer when we were paving, so it really paid off. It could be that we need a sander, and I think Kevin is working on getting a sander. And that truck, or the one that's got the water tank, we could remove the water tank, put the sander on for the winter. So we'll try. I think that was a great move on their part to scrounge up some equipment that otherwise would just sit. I think that's all I have. If y'all got anything?
When did you say everybody was gonna meet?
I think it's the 28th. It's on a Monday.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
the fourth Monday.
Yeah, on the 28th. And I'd like for everybody to be there if they can, and
At
let's,
6 o'clock, right?
you know, participate in that and make sure we get a revitalization kicked off.
Think Nathan will be there?
Yeah, Nathan Whittingham and some others will be there as well to see what we really want to get started on. Start working on grants. And that's the drainage, and I'm not sure if we got sewer running down that street. May have. And the water, we gotta redo all of that. Get it up large enough to handle runoff and everything, so we won't have to do it again for a long time. And we're continuing to replace water lines that we find got its galvanized. We're trying to improve the quality of the water, and we're doing those as we can get the money to do it, trying to improve people's
Is that
water.
getting repaired down there in front of Gatman Grange?
As soon as construction people move over, then we're gonna remove that portion of the galvanized and make it all plastic. It's part plastic and part galvanized, and that's where the problem comes in. Okay, session over. Thank you for coming, all of you, appreciate it.